Hello and welcome. This is the third video that we are putting together to show you the different products that we have in our Etsy store. For those of you that collect national park cancellation stamps or just for your national park visits, all of these are digital files and they're very easy to use. So today I'm going to show you how to use the Google Sheets database. The other videos that are available on our YouTube channels are for the um, National Park cancellation stamp template. If you've missed cancellation stamps for your visit along the way, you can print them at home using this template. The second video is the cancellation stamp Excel database that it's very similar to the Google Sheets database. Obviously, the difference is you can access one in Excel and the other one in Google Sheets. So these videos are on our YouTube channel if you want to view them. And today I want to talk to you about the Google Sheets database. When you purchase this database, you will receive a file, a PDF file with instructions on how to access it and create your own copy. It's very easy. And today I want to show you what this database is, what it has, how you can use it and update it to track your own visit. So let's get right to it. The file that you will receive after your purchase contains a link to this database that you will make a copy of just so you can make your own edits. And then once you copy, you will open it and this is where you will come to. And as you can see, there's 4 different tabs. This is the same database as the Excel database. The only difference is obviously this is accessible via your Google account. And if you purchase the Excel version, you will receive an Excel worksheet that you will then update. So other than that, the information is the same. The first tab is the Q&A that contains some useful information about what this database is, what it does, the information that's in it, how you can make changes, and so forth. Tab number 2 is a site list, which basically contains the most current version of it. Right now, there's 450 different sites, and each of them has its own row. They are separated in various columns. As you can see, the name, the abbreviation for the type of location. This is a National Historic Park, so it's abbreviated as NHP, and we'll see into the next tab how this information is being used. Primary locations, some of them have multiple locations. The state and the territory or the territory where it's located. Geographical region, the colors here match the colors in your passport book, so it's very easy to track. Some of these are multi-state locations, so we have them marked with the 2 little stars here, just so you can see and know you might be in one state and you can collect stamps in multiple states because they might be available at different visitor centers. And all of this information, it's available through the NPS app as well. May not be in your book, meaning depending on the version of the book that you have, this particular site may not be in it. And this is a really good example. Glen Echo Park does not have a separate stamp location in the most recent book that we have. So we've added it here because it has a cancellation stamp. So you can add it if you want to collect extra, you can add it into the space for extra cancellations into your book. The regional stamp here and the national stamp here based on whether this particular site was selected for either. And the last 2 columns are really the only columns that you need to be concerned about because these are the only columns that you will be updating. Everything else it's already filled out for you. And we'll get to how to do that in a few minutes. The third tab is the site data summary, which is a visual representation of everything that's in this tab. So once you start updating and filling in your own data here, you will see how the information here changes. And then this is broken down by, you have metrics by state, if you want to track how you're doing by state, how you're doing by the type of the site that you visited, like I mentioned, um, based on this column, how you're doing by geographical region. This is the same as above. It just shows you in green how much you've completed for each region. This is a visual map that's going to get updated as we start filling in data. And this is really the only noticeable difference from Excel. Google and Excel show this map differently, and we'll see how that looks like in a little bit. And then some fun facts, because there's quite a bit of fun facts about the national parks. And the last tab is just the version history. You will always, when you purchase this file, you'll have the last version or the latest version, I should say. And you can see previous versions, what information they have and what's been added in the most recent version. So with that being said, next I'm going to show you how to update the site list and see how the information changes in this tab. So this is the main tab that you're going to be working with and updating your data only in the last two columns. So let's just do that. I'm going to put in the visit date here, and in this column all you have to put is a Y, and then we'll see how that changes in the next tab. So let's just put a random date, 1/20/20 and Y. So this is in Maryland. Let's see what happens here. Okay, this was 0 before, now we have a 1, Mid-Atlantic region. We have a small green dot here, meaning we've added a cancellation for this region. We've completed 1 here under a national monument, and then we have 6% of Maryland, 1 out of the 16 sites, and here you have it. This is the map. Like I said, it looks a little different than the Google map. On the Google map, you can see the labels, but Google Sheets does, I'm sorry, on the Excel map, you can see the labels, but Google Sheets does not have that functionality. So you just have to hover over it and you will see that Maryland, you've canceled 6%. And I think this is very useful if you're trying to complete all of it or as much as you can to have these graphics show you where you stand at any point in time. So let's go back here and add some more dates just so you can see how that information changes in the other tab. These are random dates. Obviously, you're going to put your own. Just going to copy paste these in different sites. It doesn't really matter for this purpose. This is just to show you how the information looks like. Let's do a few here, Colorado. Let's do Georgia, New Mexico, and some in Arizona, some in California. Here you go. So we've updated quite a bit. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we have 25 sites. You see all of this is now updated by region. Same here as region. Here you have different distribution by type of location, and here you have it by state. If you hover Kansas, you've done 80%, Washington 17, California 4, and so forth. So I think this is really useful. So you can see a visual of it, and same with these different tables. And basically that's all you have to do to update this database. And I'm going to show you next how to make changes here if you want to add, delete rows, or change any of this data. So let's go to that final step next. This database functions like any other Google Sheet database or sheet or file that you might have, where you can make any changes that you want by adding, removing information, or changing the existing information. This is how the template looks like when you receive it. You can make it your own. You could um, remove information. I would just say that if there's some columns that you don't want to see, I would advise against deleting them, because most of these feed into the formulas that are used in this tab. So if you don't want to see something like this column, if it's not useful to you, just right click it and then basically hide column, and then you don't have to see it again. Same thing with rows, you can hide it if there's something that you don't want to see, but we're going to use that row, so I'm going to control Z. For this particular one, this was added in one of the most recent ones, added in 2024. And as after you purchase this database, you can make your own changes to it. If you keep up with NPS changes, you'll know that sites are always added or removed, and you can do the same thing to your database. This is, like I said, one of the latest ones added. So say if you don't want to see it here, it's not useful to you for whatever reason, you don't want to hide it. Rows you could delete. It will change the information here, and we'll see how, but it's not going to change the functionality of the summary tab. So if we delete this row like that, and we go here, we'll see that we now have 449 total locations, where we had 450 before. So say if you delete something by mistake and you want to add it back in, or just add a brand new site, the way you do that, it's pretty straightforward. You select the row where you want to add it, and then right click, and then you can do insert row above or below. We're going to do insert row above, and then you can just type it in. So this was Amachi National Historic Site. This was in Granada, Colorado, and this was in the Rockies. And there you have it. This is how you add any location really to this database. And if, for instance, this was blue instead of this yellow orange, the way you change the color here, and I'm going to show you, this is going to be wrong, but I just want to show you how you do that. You select the format of the row that you want this new row to look like. So if, for instance, this was, or let's just say that this should be blue for this purpose, we would select a blue row, and then we will paint format from this little icon, and then just put your mouse over the row where you want to change, click it, and it'll automatically change it to the color that you want. So now say actually it needs to be this color. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick any color, any row here, click on this icon, hover over the row, click it, and then it'll automatically change. So this is basically how you can add rows. And if you want to change anything here, again, if at some point uh, they are selected for a national stamp, and say in 2027, you can add that in here. So you can change any of this data as you want, make your own, and yeah, Hopefully, it's useful to you. Hopefully, the information that you have here helps you in your trip planning, and that way you can maximize or get to visit as many sites as you can. And I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you're always free to reach out to us. You can reach us on our Etsy via our Etsy store, and for any questions or feedback, we're happy to hear from you. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and as always, happy travels.